My name is Reem, and I have a twin sister named Rahma, or at least that's what I thought my whole life. The truth started to appear the night my mother died. My mother had been sick for months with cancer spreading throughout her body. In the last week, she started speaking very strangely. Sometimes she would wake up screaming, "Hide her before he comes," and other times she would hold my hand and say, "If he asks you about her, say you don't know." I thought the hallucinations were due to the painkillers until the last night. It was 3 in the morning, and I was sitting next to her in the hospital. Suddenly, she opened her eyes and looked at me with a fear I had never seen in a human's eyes. She told me, "Don't let Rama go down to the basement." I froze. I said to her, "What basement, Mom? We don't have a basement." But she was already taking her last breath. And just seconds before she died, she whispered to me, "She is not your sister. Rahma is not your sister." And then she passed away. The word kept ringing in my head for days. Rama was obsessively attached to my mother. When she died, she completely isolated herself in her room. But what really started to scare me was that Rahma began acting strangely, talking to herself, laughing at night, and standing looking at the apartment door as if she was waiting for someone. And once I woke up at dawn to drink water and found her standing in the living room in the dark. She looked at me and said, "He is back again." I asked her who. She calmly said, "The man who used to come to my mother." My whole body shivered. "We live in a regular apartment downstairs. What does this mean?" She says to the man who used to come to my mother, "Down, down." What does that mean? Our apartment is normal. It doesn't have a downstairs. The next day, I decided to search the house, and while I was looking in my mother's room, I found an old key wrapped with tape and a note on it saying, "Do not open." Of course I opened it. The key was strange, big, and old. At the back of the closet, behind the winter clothes, I found a small wooden door I had never noticed before. My heart started pounding violently. I opened the door, and there was indeed a staircase leading down to a basement with a suffocating smell of dust coming from it. I went down with my mobile phone and flashlight on, and with each step, I felt like I was entering a nightmare. The basement was small, with an old iron bed, a broken surveillance camera, and chains hanging on the wall. My legs weakened. But the real shock was the photos. Photos of Rahma from when she was a child. Photos of her sleeping, eating, and crying at every stage of her life. In the middle of the wall, Vitaka, written in red pen, it said, "Experiment number 4 succeeded." He heard a sound behind me. I turned quickly and found Rama standing on the stairs. Her face was terrifyingly stern. And she said, "I knew you would come down." I screamed, "What is this place?" She quietly descended and said, "This is the place where I was raised." I said to her, "So, Dad, what are you saying?" Rama smiled for the first time since my mother's death, but it was a frightening smile. She said, "I'm not your mother's daughter, Reem. Saiki, oh." I started to back away, terrified, as she continued saying, "Mamona, my mother was a doctor at a research center and they were conducting experiments on children." I was out of breath at that moment, hearing Rahma's short laugh, and she said, "I'm the only one who survived." I told her, "Yurekis, you're crazy." Suddenly her expression changed and she asked, Why? Why do you think I don't look like you? And why didn't I have any pictures as a baby?" Her words hit me in the chest. I really never thought about it. Rama came closer to me and said, "My mother took me and ran away. Your mother took me and ran away and raised me among you." I told her it was a lie. She said, "Okay, ask yourself why she used to lock me in at night when I was little, and why did you always hear the sound of things breaking from my room?" I remembered everything in a second, the fits, the screaming, and the medicine my mother used to hide. Rahma got hot, very close to me, looked directly into my eyes and said, "Because they didn't have children naturally." Suddenly, the entire basement light went out and darkness swallowed us. In the last moment before the phone turned off, I saw something I'll never forget. Rahma's eyes were glowing in the dark. Stay tuned for more stories.
And beyond the truth.